Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. My God, this goddamn Epsteiner in chief has been caught red-handed, dead to rights. So how are you going to cover up those headlines where you're going to need to burn some bridges? Not only burn the bridges, just blow them the hell up. That's how you get out of the frying pan, by getting into the fryer. So the U.S. government's bombed Caracas. The U.S. government has bombed Caracas, kidnapped Maduro and his wife. I'm thinking about Standard Oil. You had William Howard Taft made sure that Standard Oil could get into Venezuela with the 1908 coup. And then you had Harry Truman also protected Standard Oil in 1948. Standard Oil was going to get broken up into 34 individual entities because of a Supreme Court case in 1911, Standard Oil versus U.S. They called it a monopoly, but they only controlled 64% of the market. That's not a monopoly, 64%. In the late 1800s, Standard Oil had owned 90% of all the oil refineries and oil distributors. Just 90%? What's monopoly about owning 90%? Of all the oil refineries and distributors and controlling the railroads? What is a monopoly about? Now, critics would actually say that they were not an evil monopoly. Standard Oil wasn't an evil monopoly. They was actually to get gas to drop from 58 cents a gallon to 8 cents a gallon. Well, hell, the U.S. Mint don't even print any fucking pennies. That'd be 8 cents, please. I don't have 8 pennies. That's when the American dollar stood for something. That's when the almighty dollar was the almighty dollar. Now homeless people ask you for $3. Hey, can I borrow $3? Here's $1. I need to fucking get a sandwich, man. What am I going to do with $1? Today, the top three oil companies of today is Exxon, Chevron, and Conoco. Exxon, Chevron, and Conoco. And who owns those companies? Well, it's not clear, but I'll break it down for you. Exxon, Chevron, and Conoco, they're publicly traded companies listed on the New York Stock Exchange. No single entity owns a majority of the shares. Pilot Flying J is owned 100% by Berkshire Hathaway. My God, Pilot Flying J's are like their own little cities. Ownership is widely dispersed among the institutional investors, mutual funds, index funds, and retail shareholders. How many mutual funds do you guys own? How many index funds do you own? I once heard that 75% of Americans don't own any stocks. So a bunch of institutions own ExxonMobil, Chevron, and Conoco. Institutions? So what owns a faceless corporation? Well, more faceless corporations called mutual funds, index funds. So ExxonMobil, who owns ExxonMobil? The top institutional holder is the Vanguard Group. The Vanguard Group owns 9% of ExxonMobil. Oh, the fucking Vanguard Group. And BlackRock and State Street Corporation, they also have a percentage of the shares. Institutions own about 60 to 70% of ExxonMobil. Institutions do. Chevron, the top holders are the Vanguard Group. Again? The Vanguard Group again? 90%, 9%. The Vanguard Group owns 9% of Chevron, 9% of ExxonMobil, and 10% of Conoco. So then you have to ask, who the fuck runs the Vanguard Group? And then State Street Corporation and BlackRock, and then notably Berkshire Hathaway, also owns some Chevron shares. Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, holds 7 to 8%. of the shares of Chevron, one of the largest single stakes, but still far from a majority. Warren Buffett only owns 8% of Chevron. Institutions, they own about 75 to 80% of Chevron. Just institutions do. What institutions? The post office? What fucking institutions own these big corporate conglomerate motherfucking ConocoPhillips? The top holder of ConocoPhillips is Vanguard Group. 9 to 10%, followed by BlackRock and State Street. What in the fuck is going on? Why does Vanguard Group, BlackRock, and State Street Corporation own a lot of shares in Exxon, Chevron, and Conoco? Do we have a single owner of the Vanguard Group, State Street Corporation, and BlackRock? Maybe that's the question we should ask. Is there a majority owner of Vanguard Group, State Street Corp, and BlackRock? Wasn't there a country that banned BlackRock because they kept on buying housing and raising the rents up? So we're going to find out, because if what they're doing is just creating like these trust funds, and they're saying, well, hey, we're just a trust fund. Well, what do you buy? Well, we kind of invest in a lot of different things. We have 10% of Chevron. We got 10% of Conoco, and no majority owner for Vanguard, State Street Corporation, or BlackRock. So one faceless corporation owns another faceless corporation. Does anybody know what the fuck is going on? Who the fuck is steering the ship? Who the fuck is steering the ship? And this the hill we're going to die on? Are we going to go down with this ship? Hey, if McDonald's wants to invade Eritrea, I got a list of the dictators too. Let me list the dictators out. So if we're going to say Maduro is a dictator because he's been in power for 12 years, well, clearly we're going to have to invade India because Narendra Modi has been running India for 12 years. And then Bangladesh, that Hasina has been running Bangladesh for 17 years. Viktor Orban has been running Hungary for 16 years. The dictator of Congo, 45 years. Rwanda, 26 years. Lukashenko's been running Belarus for 32 years. Eritrea, dominated by a fascist tyrant for 33 years. Tajikistan, 33 years. Brunei, 58 years. Norway, Harald V has been running Norway for 35 years. Putin's Russia, 26 years. Ali Khamenei in Iran, 36 years. Paul Biya of Cameroon, 43 years. Equatorial Guinea, Mbasogo, 47 years. Liechtenstein, 36 years. The House of Windsor, 109 years. 109 years. 109 years. Who owns the Vanguard Corporation? The world may never know.